The transfer rumour mill is rumouring. Morgan Rogers, 100 M's, 80 M's. There are talks and a lot of reports saying that Manchester United and others, people like Arsenal, potentially City, are interested in a move for Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers at a cost of 80 million plus. 80 smackaroonies plus. Now, Morgan Rogers is a top player. I really like Morgan Rogers. He's young as well. You have to remember, he's like 23 years of age, I think. He's had a very good season. He's maturing. He's getting better. The ceiling is high. The ceiling is high. He's had a great journey out of City. You know what I mean? Playing for Michael Carrick as well at Middlesbrough. You know, Unai Emery takes him out the Championship for a cut price free. Now he's in the England squad, dominated number 10, potentially his shirt in the World Cup. 80 M's in the current climate for English tax, for clubs that have got PSR and all of that, for a guy who can affect games and score goals. These are the type of numbers that we see. But for me, in terms of Manchester United, I can't be spending 80 millions on a Morgan Rogers this summer. I can't be doing it. I can't. I need central midfielders. I need a forward. I need a left winger. Maybe they could see him as that left winger, to be fair, and playing a different way. But that's what Cunha does. And actually, Cunha playing centrally is a Morgan Rogers. He's older, but that is that. He can get on a half turn. He can drive. He wins fouls. He can shoot from distance. It's very similar to Matheus Cunha. So I'm not saying that Morgan Rogers, if somebody bought him for that he's not worth that, because he could end up being worth that. He's a very good player. But us, with our priorities and our current squad makeup and where we're trying to go, I'm just not sure about that. Not for me. Not for me. What are you guys saying? Let me know in the chat and the comments. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Good morning. Welcome back to United View. We're talking the 100 million Rogers race / 80 million. Maguire's got big quotes. As Josh always says, going to win the league. He says we can win the league next year if we spend correctly. That's what Harry Maguire has said. Bruno Fernandes has big quotes as well about what's happening under Carrick and what's changed and this, that, and the other. It's all going on. And the days are ticking off because the game is coming soon. Yes. It is still next week, but it's nearly the end of this week, which means we're very close to a game, Owen.
We're into the match week. We're into the match week at the moment. Yeah, we're now
game
into
week. Game week.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly. Whilst it is still technically next week, we're into the game week. And I tell you what, folks, people have been wondering. People have been waiting. Indeed, it is back. Yeah, we were doing it at the start of the season. We did it halfway through the season, and now we're doing it again. You can beat Don Robbie. Okay, this show is brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing, football's ultimate free-to-play eliminated game. You'll remember what happened it was historic, Flex. What happened last time? Yeah, with this game,
we've never stopped laughing at him.
It's one of the greatest launches ever, to be honest, of beat Robbie, and then everyone beat Robbie. You remember what happened last time?
Yeah.
He lasted about 5 minutes. Out round one, and
Liverpool,
tens of thousands of people beat him, walking away with a massive jackpot of £1.07 each as prize money. But Robbie's convinced he can still go all the way. You know what he's like? Whoa. You know, I had bigger fish to fry at the time. You know, all that kind of stuff. So we're going again. It doesn't matter if you're still alive and exist and leave. You can still jump into the new Beat Robbie. All you have to do, it's pretty simple, stay in longer than Don Robert Lyle. Yeah, whoever's left standing, once he's out, gets the split of a £50,000 prize pot. That's why there were so many people there last time. You got like a quid. But remember how to play. Pick one Premier League team to win each week. They win, you stay in. They lose or draw, you're out of there. And remember, once you pick the team, you can't pick them again, right? So I'm going to put my pick in. Now, I've had mixed success, I think, this season. I remember first week of the season, that's when I did the Sunderland, and it was unbelievable. People at the time were going, oh, and you can't do that. I was like, yes, I can. I can do whatever I want. And it went very well. Now, who do I go with, Flex?
I've gone with us. I've gone with us this year, this week, because you can't choose West Ham Wolves. There's a lot of difficult games there.
Yeah, the deadline's 3
really
PM.
difficult. Yeah, I had to back us. I had to. Like Liverpool, Fulham, I don't like. Crystal Palace, Newcastle, very difficult. Maybe Brighton to beat Burnley, but that's tough. You know, let's be honest.
You never know. This stage of the season.
Forest Villa fighting for points to stay up. It's probably us.
It's either, ironically, it's either us or City, really, isn't it?
And the City one,
you never know.
Home.
Bridge could be a bit of a. I think you're right, Flex. I think you're right. The pick's
Lock it in, Owen. Believe we're back playing. Believe.
I need a sound effect. I need some kind of.
Yeah.
The pick is in. So if you think you can outlast Robbie, like I'm sure you do, and I'm sure that I do, download the William Hill app. Scan the QR code when it appears on the sidebar. There's a link in the video description. It's pinned in the chat. And remember, enter before the 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. It's 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. As always, please gamble responsibly. Full terms and conditions apply. And all are in the links below, Flex. So the picks are locked in. And the question is Manchester United locked in? Because we're back playing this weekend. But we're already looking ahead to the summer transfer window as well. And this story came a little bit out of nowhere yesterday because of all of the chatter about midfielders and strikers, left wingers. I don't think many people thought Morgan Rogers was going to come up. It's not that we haven't been linked with him before. We have. But this link was a bit surprising. So first it came from the Times saying Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea have all renewed their interest in Morgan Rogers. And there could be a big tug of war for the player this summer. Reportedly, he's open to leaving Aston Villa, who are likely to value him at £80+ million. But it's not only the Times that are reporting this, it's also the Telegraph. They're also reporting that a near £100 million race is developing between Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and interestingly enough, Paris Saint-Germain for Morgan Rogers. All four clubs are keen on buying him. Thoughts, Flex? Is this just another case of early transfer, let's get a story out there? Is there something legitimate in this one? Is this even what we need, when it comes to our priorities? We said we've got so many of them. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there's the other clubs and Morgan Rogers in its entirety, and then there's specifically us. This is United View, so let's do specifically us first. Like I said at the start of the show, leaning more into that, that's a lot of money for this player, a huge amount of money, 80 to 100 million. If we're discussing just the player, forget the price tag, he's a very good player. Morgan Rogers is a fantastic player. His development in the last 18 months has been unreal, to be honest with you. He was doing bits under Carrick at Middlesbrough. Aston Villa deserve all the credit for taking the gamble on him from the Championship. And like Unai Emery does to so many players, he improves players. He improves players a lot. And he's improved exponentially, into the England squad and delivered. He's been delivering in the England squad as well. In terms of us, there's no way we should be spending this summer unless there's some type of money that I don't know about, that we don't know about. There's no way we can afford or should be trying to sign him for £80 million with how our current squad looks. No chance. There just isn't. Bruno set to stay. There's nothing to suggest he's leaving as it stands. You've got a Mateus Cunha in there who I described as a very similar player to Morgan Rogers, or Morgan Rogers is a very similar player to him. Can play on the left-hand side. When they do play there, they're looking to come inside, let shots off, bounce wall passes. They can travel with the ball, super strong, draw a lot of fouls. Got that little whip to the far corner, that little open out the body kind of finish. And they can get goals and they can create. I didn't know you could do that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, popped in this morning and just little,
good,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So there's you can do polls within this.
If you type, and this is an experiment, by the way, guys, 1 for yes, I think 2 for no.
Right. Okay.
And then it should come up on the screen, apparently.
That's good. So there you go.
If you do ones and yeses, apparently you'll do it. We'll see if that actually happens.
Yes. It does. It does. You got all elite.
Yeah.
You're the first. All right. Let's see. Let's get some results in. Listen, I really like Morgan Rogers. But he probably, we're all saying that's mad to pay for him. He shouldn't cost that, this, that, and the other. I get that, but these PSR clubs, plus English young players that are on the market, we're seeing it with Anderson, same thing. He's 100 million. He's in the England squad, and Morgan Rogers did a much better team this year, playing a lot better. So, not for me, especially this year. A lot would have to change for me to want to buy him for our team for that much money. I.e., Bruno's gone straight away. You go, We need to look big. You need to sign someone who can get goals and assists and, you know, take the ball. You know, you might even say, well, we've got Cunha. Do we just make him the new Bruno for a bit? And, you know, Cole Palmer's there. You look at different things. But if Bruno left, then there's that massive level of gap and hole in the team. You have to spend big to try and replace him, maybe over 2 players or 1 big player like that. But with Cunha in our team, when we also need the type of summer we need that we've been talking about for so long, we got no business getting involved in that type of deal for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, when it sort of came up yesterday, I was a bit surprised by it just because, yes, we have been linked with him before, but when you look at, you know, with the way the media works and the way that these stories are sort of generated and agents and what have you, they're usually placed around what Manchester United need. You know, so obviously it's well documented we need midfielders, so we're going to be linked with every midfielder that's available this summer. It's well documented we need a left fullback, so we get linked with a bunch of left fullbacks. Same with left wingers. With the Morgan Rogers one, like Flex is kind of touching on, I don't think it's really what we need. Not need in the sense of, if we sign Morgan Rogers and he comes into our squad, he improves the squad. He's a very good player. But in terms of all of the different priorities that we've got, and then that price point, no, I don't think so. It'd be a bit different if this was a season or two's time and you're going like, wow, can you sprinkle? You need a little bit of extra something in that team, a little bit of a game changer in that team. All right, fair. But not for what we need to do right now. We've just got too many positions to recruit for, too many priorities, and that's an expensive deal. You know, 80 to 100 million pounds, and
exactly, so expensive.
Yeah, I just don't see it. But I wouldn't be shocked, like, if he moved this summer, just not to us. You know what I mean? Would I be completely shocked if, I don't know, probably not Man City, but you know, a team of their ilk went, they put in a bid for like 80 million, you know, something like that. I wouldn't be shocked by that, again, because of Villa, if they've got financial problems or what have you. But for us, for what we need, no, I don't think so.
No, and you know, there is history.
Especially when we're sorry, let's go on.
Yeah, go on. Especially when we're
especially when one of the criticisms and reasons we're going for, you know, those sort of wider players, wingers now, is because Cunha and Mbeumo are much more like centralized attacking players playing out wide, whereas that's exactly what Morgan Rogers would probably be again. So I'm not sure why we would sort of add to that. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, Morgan Rogers is like he's like a cross between a 10 and a left winger. Can play on the right. He played on the right against us when we beat them 3-1. He can play anywhere across that middle third, really, or final third, if you want to call it that. He's very flexible. Does his best work centrally, even for England the other day against Japan. Started out on the right, I think, as well. First half wasn't great. Moved into the central area. Second half, a lot better. So he's like Cunha. It's weird. It's like we have a profile of that player. As soon as I look at Cunha, I see a Morgan Rogers and vice versa. So we don't need it now. It just on the flip side, you know, obviously he is a fantastic player. There's history with Jason Wilcox. I know my brother coming out of City. They had big influence on the City Academy. You know, he came out of there after being at West Brom really early, but was done most of his youth work through City. So there's those, you know, they will be aware of him and know him really well. So there's probably admirers there. But if Man United are going this big for central midfielders, like we know we are, and you know, left back and another forward for Xerxes if he leaves, and I just don't see where that might, even if it was like, but Carrick, like, you know, he's worked with Carrick as well. Lil Yo, that's another big plus. You know, Carrick helped make him who he is. I saw Morgan Rogers actually before we played them in the interviews talking about Carrick actually and how he let him express himself and, you know, how much he rates Carrick for helping him and developing him, etc., etc. But I just don't see how, with everything we've got on the menu, 80 million Morgan Rogers makes it to the dining table. We must have some serious money that we don't know, or like you say, Bruno's going to leave. Like, do you know what I mean? There must be something we don't know.
Do you think it's a case of, we've seen this with pretty much every coach we've had, right? So when we had Erik ten Hag, we get linked with every Ajax player or Dutch player under the sun. With Ruben, we didn't end up getting any players from Sporting, but we were linked with pretty much every Sporting player you could possibly think of at that time as well. Is this just a similar case of them going, Morgan Rogers used to play for Carrick, he's in the Prem now, he could leave Aston Villa, let's just put those together? You know what I mean? Man United are interested.
I think there's probably a little bit more to it than that. Yes, at the surface level, but all the
Is he
other
like
teams
he's
are
on the?
linked as well.
Is it like he's on the list
There's
though?
admirers.
Yeah.
Because
It's
he's
more
a
that.
good player, and actually, like you said, not even just Carrot. Like Wilcox knows him really well.
Yeah.
Barada knows him really well. Because Barada, remember that video we did with Jolien,
Yeah.
Scott, when he spoke, he knows Omar Barada well, and that was his main job before he got that high. These guys were overseeing the youth academy at Man City, and so was Jason Wilcox. In fact, Jason Wilcox has done his best work. He's actually infamous for that. Doing the.
Does that mean we're going to be linked with every former City player then? Every former City youth player, and there's a lot of them, by the way. There's a lot of them. Pretty much now, if there's some kind of like wonder kid or hot prospect around Europe, they probably were either in City or Chelsea's academy at some point, and you don't remember. But you do like a Google search, you go, I don't remember them playing for City, or I don't remember them playing for Chelsea, but at some point they did, kind of thing. So maybe it's just going to be that, right? It's going to be linked with every former City youth player, and Morgan Rogers fits into that category perhaps as well. But I really don't see it. I don't see that as well. And also, I know Villa might have their financial issues, but they're still going to probably be. I mean, they might be in the Champions League next season. They might be like, they sell Morgan Rogers, back in the Champions League. As of things going right now, if the season finished.
Well, but the reports say regardless of whether they do or not.
Yeah.
And with the PSR clubs, as usual, even like say with Champions League, there's still certain books that need to be balanced. I speak to Dan Bardell on a weekly basis about Aston Villa, so I'm always sort of informed via him of what the good bits are and the bad bits are. And I think there's always players that they need to balance books and to sell and big money. You know what I mean? So I don't know. If you look at where he could go, I mean, with Liverpool, they need an attacking midfielder. Could play on the left. Could play. I mean,
they need?
Because they need a right winger. They need a left winger. They need to replace McAllister. Need a centre back.
Is it, Flex? Yeah,
crazy.
And this crazy, is like. Bro. I don't want to get into the whole double standard, poor Man United kind of thing, But they spent £400 million in the summer. And then, granted, they're playing PSG, but then they went to PSG, played 5 at the back, and didn't have a single shot on target. If that was Manchester United, oh my God. Could you imagine? The pieces that would be written? I'm still seeing from journos that cover Liverpool, like spin pieces about how Florian Wirtz is getting better. They still come good. It's madness. Whereas we've signed players that, granted, maybe haven't ended up being a huge success, but I've put in half-decent performances, better performances than Wirtz. And the scrutiny that they got was ridiculous. And I suppose it kind of goes into what Maguire says in a bit, where he's sort of saying, like, only certain people can deal playing at Manchester United because the way you get judged, unfortunately, is just not fair. There's a giant level. Double standard. It is. It's insane. So... I've seen the meltdowns from some Liverpool fans over the last few days going, we've become everything we used to mock United for, which I'm not going to lie.
They have.
Kind of nice, that. Felt kind of nice.
100%. 5 at the back, no shots on target, sitting
spending
there,
money,
we just got to survive this, and listen, PSG are a generational team at the moment. I get it. Like, you have to try something. But I said it yesterday on to AGT and on DR, I was like, I know, like we said, Slot should try something. Salah can't play this game. You've got to try and stifle him. But the way it actually played out, even as a United fan and a / neutral, I went, that's not Liverpool, though, is it? Like, Liverpool just sitting off, going, just stay in here. Liverpool go down. Liverpool are that club that go out, like, on their sword. Like,
a year ago, they wouldn't have done that.
Because they could have lost that 5-0 the other night. Playing that way. So if they're going to potentially lose 5-0, they're the sort of club, never walk alone, Anfield, everyone running around. Like, they'll go out 5-0 on the sword. And that was like
Jurgen Klopp would have never.
No chance.
Never in a million years. He'd have just, he might have lost 4-0, but just by being completely open. So, you know what I mean? But instead of doing what they did. So it's funny how that works, isn't it? And this is what I go back to yesterday going, what's very strange about United with this summer coming up is it does feel like, because some teams have just fallen off the edge of a cliff, if we get this summer right, we can bridge so much of a gap that we didn't think we could about a year ago or 6 months ago. We just got to get it right. And this is when you tie it back to Morgan Rogers I don't think £100 million on Morgan Rogers is right for Manchester United this summer. That's not what we need. We need a lot, but I don't think we need that.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. And according to that short vote that we had, 90-something% of people also agreed in the
Yeah,
chat.
I
So
think,
I think
yeah,
we're all on the same page with that. There you go.
yeah,
89% people.
yeah,
You 11% disgraces. What's
yeah.
what's
Well,
your methodology behind that?
I think I just want to see if it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
try
yeah.
to make sure it
True.
works.
Very,
Exactly.
very true. Okay. Have we got any? Yes. What we got here? Shout out Peter says happy Good Friday to my Eastern Orthodox brothers. May God bless you all. Big up to you. Yes, 100%. And big up Ant. He says that's 70 to 100 million not spent on midfield too. Exactly that. We can't be
Yeah.
affording to do that unless there is some serious money behind the back of the sofa again that we've been hiding that we didn't know, that they're going to go, you know what, we believe we can win the league next year, let's go big, let's buy Tonali, Baleba, Rogers, some left, but Lewis Skelly. You know what I mean? Imagine that. Maybe
this is a conversation, say, for Trinity later, but about that gap that I'm talking about bridging, do you think that Ineos or those within the club might look at that, go, if there ever was a summer to sort of dip in to next year's budget, it might be this one. You know, like because we said that last summer, didn't we? When we were, when we were talking about Baleba, going, well, if the opportunity's there, you can dip into next year's budget, because if you feel it's worth it, if you feel the risk or the gamble is there to be taken, then do it. Is there any chance they look at that this summer and think the same thing? Go, tell you what, we're back in Champions League, got a bit of extra money there. If we actually get it right and spend big,
can we push a little bit? Yeah,
yeah,
maybe. But there's still so much to do. Yeah.
Do they have that ability to risk? I mean, with the way they budgeted the last few years, saying that we budgeted for Europa League, so this is better than we budgeted as well. So maybe we do dip it.
Don't trust them yet. I don't know. I'd be uncomfortable predicting such sort of things from these guys. They had a good window last year. Yes, I agree. It's good that, when you look at the money we're about to save this summer, wages off the books and stuff like that, it really is true. You can clearly see, we're going to talk about the Maguire comments in a minute, but it feels like it's going to be a big summer. Everybody knows it's going to be a big summer. Most importantly, the club looks like it's stabilized again with Michael Carrick there. We're going to get into the Champions League, it appears, barring a catastrophe. So actually, we're on course for what we wanted, which was to calm down, get better. Like, obviously, one game a week's not great and all of that, but post Amorim, we've been what we want to see the team. The problem was Amorim. Like, not all of it, but the problem was, like, we're playing in completely the wrong way for the players we've got. Let's sort that out first. Let's get some calm here, and then go from there. So, I don't know if they'll push as far as we maybe think, but definitely we have to be looking at, we do need to be as ambitious as we possibly can this summer. I'm definitely not against that.
If an opportunity opens up,
we should always be that. You know what I mean? We're thinking that as like something because we ain't seen it for ages, because the standards are down. Man United should always be sort of, if market opportunity wise, ready.
If
excuse me, guys, Bayern Munich razor blades in my throat, mate. I've got this cough because it's awful.
If Bayern Munich win the Champions League and Harry Kane just goes, you know what, done it all in Germany now, go home.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Well, if that happened, you have to be at the door for it.
And he goes, I would go back to Spurs, but they're in Championship, so I can't go there. So, where do I go, kind of thing.
No, I don't. I think
or do we start talking again about resale value? Wow, how much are you going to sell him for?
Probably wouldn't.
But when it comes to next season and the summer, as you mentioned, Flex, some really interesting comments here from Harry Maguire, of course, fresh off signing a new Manchester United contract. He said, this summer's going to be big, really big. We need more players. We need more quality. We need players to come into the starting 11. We've had a great...
Fucking hell. Sorry. I knew it. Do you know what's interesting about this? I haven't actually seen the quotes. I know he said some big stuff. That's fucking massive, what he's saying.
Yeah. He says, we need more players, need more quality. We need more players to come into the starting 11. We've had a great few months under the manager. I feel like the squad is starting to look something like that is a strong squad. He also then spoke about what he's gone through during his tenure at United. says that most players would have been broken by what he's gone through. He says, I think there are a lot of players who would want to maybe just close the book, go elsewhere, restart their career. I think it had probably broken them a little bit earlier, but it wouldn't change where I've been or what I've been through. It's part of the journey. It's definitely made me stronger and where I am today. And to be fair, look, for what the recovery, and I did see some responses to that of, oh, what's he been through? He's a professional footballer. This guy had like fake bomb threats to his house over football. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how ridiculous it got at points with Harry Maguire. I mean, unless you were really, I think, in the weeds with it at the time, time does a funny thing because you forget and you just kind of put things behind you. But at the time, it was brutal for Harry Maguire. It was absolutely brutal for him at the time. So to get to the point where he is now, we were talking about this the other day about how there's actually a sense of you're feeling comfortable and you want to actually see him in the starting 11. So Matt in 2026 is a remarkable turnaround for him. But yeah, when he talks about the transfers there, Flex, I mean, it doesn't get more honest and transparent than that. We need more players, we need more quality, and we need more players that can come into the starting 11. I mean,
yeah. I mean, Show says Flex gets so gassed over quotes. Show's always like, they can say what they want. You know, Show's always quite pessimistic. And listen, he's right in terms of believe it when I see it. You do have to, but in terms of the way Harry Maguire is talking, I like that. I like that he's saying that. I am gassed over that. It's strong words, man. Yeah, it's strong words because, exactly. It's strong words because, a lot of players, especially when you're going into a big summer, you can sort of don't give the media anything big to sort of suggest we're going to be, spending a lot of money. Don't, but that's just 100% honest. That's not brief. That's not the generic, like, everyone needs to work for their place. We've got a fantastic squad already. Everyone's good enough. The usual kind of thing. He's saying, no, we need better players, more quality. It's going to be really, really big this summer. And we need more players to come into the starting 11. That's what we need. So I just like the honesty. I know it's not going to transfer into, so that means we're going to get Morgan Rogers, Baleba, Tonali, a new left back, a new left winger, a new striker. Obviously, I'm not thinking that. But in terms of like the super honesty and saying it as it is, and not just those sort of 10 a penny player interviews that you get where they need to be respectful, don't give any sound bites out, and just keep it moderate. And also you don't want to ruffle feathers in your own dressing room. I mean, for the fragile players, some of them guys who ain't cut out to be there that he's talking about, they could be like, what do you mean we need more starting? What, my spot? What do you mean? What? No, that's right. The message is, like what Steve Holland dropped that little line in the in-house thing, the fluff piece you said yesterday of like, everything was normal. And then at the end, he goes, well, we'll be finishing as high as you can, mate. Like, this win shit. Like, what is this, basically? Yeah. That's the sort of noise that needs to be coming out. And obviously, the transfer window needs to match these words. That is, over to you, Ineos. That's where Show is right. It's all good Harry Maguire saying that to The Athletic. He's not the one in negotiations with players. He's not the ones, saying, with the money in his back pocket to sign these players. That's on Ineos / the Glazers, but Ineos are in charge of that. So, it's almost like he's not digging out the establishment, but how Cucurella was like, speaking up against like what the players feel and what they need and stuff like that. This is a bit different because it's more positive and we're stable, but it's speaking out and challenging by a senior player saying that. It's challenging Ineos to say, well, I'm saying it because you've told me it's going to be a big summer. That he ain't going to say that unless he's sort of been told, you're signing this new deal. Here's the plans for the future. We're going big in the summer. So he feels comfortable enough to come out and say that publicly. So also that's like a public sort of call out or rallying cry to Ineos to say, yeah, I'm a senior player. Here's what I think we need. I'm telling the fans that as well. So, you know what I mean? If you come back with fucking a packet of crisps and of Twix instead of what you're meant to get, there's going to be serious questions to answer.
No, it's true. I think you're right, because if you say those kind of quotes and comments, and then you have a summer that's bereft of any transfers, you don't really look that great, do you? And the club doesn't look that great. I mean, it's funny. you can't really come out and say those quotes before you've signed your new contract, can you? You know what I mean?
No.
We need new, we need new players in the summer. We need to bring players in, and then you can go, yeah, we'll make. That's why we're getting rid of you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You say that once you've signed the contract. You say once you've signed the contract, you go, right. That's why I stayed, because we need players, we need quality. But he is right. We've been saying it too, that last summer, you know, obviously whilst bringing players in, it was about moving players on. I think the general sort of census has been from Ineos over the last few months, has been moving players on, trying to get that wage bill down, get the highest earners out. But now we're hopefully next season going to be competing in multiple competitions. This is when you get to, well, yeah, we're going to need a bigger squad. We mentioned it recently. We've seen it over the last few months, despite these good results. When we do have 2 or 3 injuries, suddenly basically we don't have a bench. We have a bench full of academy players. You can't do that when you're in Champions League or you want to go deep into the FA Cup. Or even when we do have a fully fit squad, the starting 11 comes out and we go, oh, good starting 11. And then we sort of turn to the bench and we go, how many of them are like game changers on the bench there? Sort of 1 or 2. And that's why I've not been opposed to holding Šeško back and keeping him on the bench, because as you go through a 90 minutes, you need something different. You need to hold weapons back. You can't just have all of your weapons out straight away. It's great because you could just completely obliterate them from the start, but what if they're still surviving? You're going to need something else. Or when you have a setback in the game or the game goes a different way, you need to hold something back to come on strong. And that's not even a new idea. This is what Manchester United are built upon. I always go back to, you look at the treble season. You got 4 strikers. You got 2 strike partnerships there. And that was in 99, even 2008. You've got Berbatov, you've got Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney, in addition to Nani, in addition to, all of these other players. And then you're throwing in academy players like Welbeck or Makeda or what have you, because you need options. You need options and you need game changers because of injuries and because of just sometimes you've got to throw them all on to get something. And those extra points that you get by throwing them on can, win you a league, or they can get you into the Champions League or something like that. So, yeah, we do need to get more options in. But that's when we go back to like the Morgan Rogers one, because we've got so much to do and so many people to get. We also need to be wise with the money that we have. You know what I mean? We need to be wise with what we have and not, I suppose, go into a territory where we're like, right, Morgan Rogers, 80 million. And then we go, yeah, I thought we were going to sell that player. Now we can't get that midfielder. That was a bad idea. So it is a juggling act. And look, there is at least the positive really is, isn't it? It was last summer. If we'd had a bad summer last summer, we'd be going into this one going, look, we need a lot. We got a lot to do, but I don't have any faith for them to do it. I'm still not there at the moment where I'm like complete blind faith in Ineos. Oh, they'll get it right in the summer. I've got faith. I'll trust them. But there is at least well, they did well last year. So the hope would be if they can continue that on, we should be good next season. We shouldn't be starting the season going, we're miles off it. We haven't got players. Oh, remember we used to have that all the time, didn't we? We used to start seasons and be like, we're going to get in 2 or 3 extra players, but we haven't got them yet. So I don't know what's going on. First 3 games are a write-off, which is always horrible. Or we're on tour and we're like, we haven't actually signed them, but they're coming in.
Go, when are they going to be here? Exactly.
When are they going to be? Wow, maybe this last couple of days.
This tour, obviously we've announced all the official stuff for pre-season. This tour is very different. Should be quite easy, considering there's a World Cup. You've made it quite easy to be at base. The team are just flying to games and coming back. It's almost like they're almost like European aways.
Yeah, Champions League.
You just fly out, you do the game. They do their training in the morning, fly out for the game, come back. They're not even staying in a bag of hotels and staying over and doing up this and doing up that. There might be a few different things where they might do some things with sponsors, but it really isn't that this year. So there's more time at Carrington than anywhere else. So it's at base, which should make it a lot easier and a lot more calm to carry out stuff. I mean, I know there's a lot of commercial stuff that needs to be ticked in boxes and losing money for big tours of Asia or the States, etc. But actually, in terms of from the footballing side, good. Keep them at Carrington. Do you know what I mean? Keep them locked in. Guys that are coming back from the World Cup in dribs and drabs, get your rest in. Get back to Carrington, mate. And there's no mad flights, different hemispheres and time zones and all this stuff. Yeah. Just pop on a flight to Sweden, mate. 2 hours. Get on the EasyJet. Get on the Wizz Air. Get on the Ryanair. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Get on the Jet 2 holidays. Yeah.
Yeah.
And get across, play the game, couple of hours back, get home with your family. Go relax, training next day. Do you know what I mean? No jet lag season. No. So yeah, good. I think this should help us really for
yeah. No, I totally agree. And yeah, Maguire's certainly some interesting comments. Then again, it will be interesting to see if Man United lives up to what he said.
Yeah. I mean, later on, so just quickly, I think you did say it's more for the Trinity later on, but obviously he did talk about, why can't we win the league next year vibe. So that's to hold that thought. I think that's really interesting. Are we doing that now? Or are we doing that later? Is that in this?
What? No.
The quotes that he said. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
well, tune in later on because that's going to be an interesting show. Because KG obviously infamously one striker away, so it'll be interesting to see what he thinks of Maguire saying, "Well, next year recruit right." Tell you what, I mean, why not?
Can I predict what he'll say?
Yeah, of course. I like predictions. What do you think
we'll both try and predict.
Because he's a lot more measured. Remember, he's more smart now, but
he's difficult.
Says more things.
I think he's even more difficult to predict for that reason. Because you're right. Sometimes yes, but sometimes absolutely not. It depends what day you catch him on.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait for this Trinity game because I'm gonna give him the Lewis. You see the Lewis Skelly thing. I'm with him. He's right. I think there's an opportunity there. I've thought about it more and more, and I think he's right.
I still don't know. I still go back to that and go, I don't know what the point was in the end. What was the point?
No. The point was easy. The point was that he thought of it, right?
Right.
Which we all couldn't believe.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you even thinking? And the point is, from my point of view, the point was, I just laughed at him. Why would you want to sign him? We ain't gonna get him. Loads of money, and I ain't even seen enough. I'm not even convinced. This, that, and the other. Now I have to be honest. The more I've thought about it, and the more noise there has been, legitimate noise. There's even more coming out now.
Yeah,
for both of them. Check out Football Flex after this. I do look at going. Do need a new left back. He can play. Basically, all the things KG said that I shat on. I'm like, we
could sign him. Basically, we could sign him. We could sign him.
We could sign him.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, and if we did, it would actually be good.
Yeah,
potentially.
Amanor says, compare Maguire's mentality to Mount, man versus fetus.
What? I mean, that's
Amanor just going after
basically a child. You haven't even been born yet.
But it kicks off here because Kristen says, Amanor, where's your mentality for your Marmite forfeit? Has he still not done that?
Don't think he has. He got off of it. KG was saying he just got a technicality.
Amanor, that's shocking.
And the book's gone as well. I don't know if that even was in the book, but it's
not even that bad. You know what I mean?
I mean, it is horrible. It does taste like shit.
Yeah, but Flex. I've eaten. Yeah. I think I got to 50 lemons. Yeah. I'm over 25 deep.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like a spoonful of Marmite. Even if you don't like it, you can still be like, all right, I'll do that.
Then a few seconds. This albatross is still around my neck. I mean, I don't know. So, Amanol fires back, says, well, we need to hold Amarin fans to account, e.g. Kristen. Good grief. It is kicking off in the super chat.
Amanol coming for everyone.
Lil Yo-Yo says, Amanor, don't go anywhere. Where's your Marmite? it's really kicking off, isn't it? We'll keep that going. That was fun. But yes, some quotes here from the Manchester United captain, Bruno Fernandes. If you're
don't tell show.
Why do you not like Bruno Fernandes?
No, just because they're quotes.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay. Just to let you know, pause the show and fast forward it to after this because you don't like quotes.
Or Flex, are you going to be able to contain yourself? That's probably the real question, isn't it?
I'm not going to react to them because they're just quotes.
Okay, they're just words, right?
So you tell the other people who care because I don't.
Yes, exactly. So, okay, Jurgen, if you're wondering whether Bruno Fernandes is going to stay at Manchester United this summer, of course, he does have that release clause in his contract for top European clubs. He has said, I feel home at Manchester. My kids feel at home here. It's wonderful for me to be in a place where my kids can enjoy so much and feel so much at home as they do in Manchester. That doesn't sound like a guy who's going to leave, does it?
Yeah, get out of here, show. I'm getting gas, mate. He's staying. That's confirmed. Yeah, you're always Mr. Confirmed. So you're saying this show. Yeah, how about this show? This is what I'm saying. Our captain is going nowhere. He's staying in Manchester. Yeah, that's where he is. The kids are fine in school. Mrs. Fernandes is happy. She even said to her husband last summer, "Hold on a minute. Wait there. Hold on. Have you finished here, Bruno? Have you finished achieving what you want to achieve here?" He told his wife, "No, I haven't." So his wife said, "Well, what are you talking about? We're not going Saudi. We're not going Saudi. You stay here and you achieve." Then we get Michael Carrick. Now we're in good form. Maguire says it's going to be the biggest ever summer we've had in our transfer history. Yeah. So the quotes are quoting. Yeah. That's what I read. That's what I read.
Yeah.
That's what I read.
Oh, just when you're saying all of that. When you're saying that, I could envisage like a Big Six-esque, you know what I mean? Bruno Fernandes has signed for Real Madrid or something, you know what I mean? I was like, oh my God.
I'd shut the channel down.
No, I don't think he's going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere, man.
No. Especially when it's going good. You know what I mean?
Happy wife, happy life, mate. He's not even talking about the Man United stuff. He's talking about the kids.
Yeah,
that means they ain't going anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah, he might want to go. You know what I mean? He might go, look, Madrid's. This is, I tell you what, yeah, Flex. This is what a real sort of leadership figure does. Yeah, you look at Enzo Fernandez. Does the fraud Fernandez? That's what I call him, not Enzo. Fraud Fernandez. He's doing the whole international break, basically saying how great a city Madrid is. You know, Madrid's lovely. Oh God. Me and my family, we just love Madrid's the best place to go. I love Madrid. Spain and Madrid's amazing. And then gets dropped and then tries. What did I say? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say anything that was bad. Meanwhile, the real Fernandez, is saying, "I love Manchester. Manchester's great. You know, my kids love it here. It's where my kids were born. My wife loves it here. That's the difference. Yeah, that's
Bruno
the difference.
Is such a family man. I'll be honest. I'll be less convinced if he was like, you know, the team is good and, you know, we still want to achieve things and, you know, love the Premier League. You know, when a man talks about the family, it's fine. It's fine. We're staying. We're staying put. We're not uprooting.
And I know you get gassed over quotes, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
But you can also, you get excited over stats as well.
I do love a quote. I do love a stat as well.
I sent this one to you the other day, and this might be one of my favorite stats for a long time because this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Shout out Statman Dave said, if you exclude set pieces for Bruno Fernandes, but include them for everybody else, he still has the most chances created in the Premier League this season with 66.
How has he done that stat? Like, what's made him work out? Like, actually, everyone's cussing him, saying he takes too many free kicks, too many set pieces. Let me take them off.
Let me check.
Let me leave them for everyone else. He's the GOAT. He is the GOAT. Unless he took that stat from somewhere else, but that is
unbelievable. That is the ultimate Arsenal fans piss off kind of stat, isn't it? You know, the whole like how good can he be? Because actually, it's all corners and set pieces. But if you're saying it about us, set pieces bad, set pieces good for United, let's take them away.
But the worst thing is, include them for everyone else.
Yeah, we'll take them all.
That's the worst bit of it.
You can have.
You can keep it. Yeah,
that is literally like going into a boxing fight. Tyson Fury's returned to the ring this weekend. It's like him going, "Let me just sign on the dotted line. I won't use my arms. I just won't use my arms, and I'll still beat you in a knockout somehow." And you'd be like, "That's not possible." And you go, "Well, I'll find a way," and he does. That's what Bruno Fernandes.
That is mad, though, isn't it? Because that is when people say, you know, how many were penalties or how many were this, or how many from open play. How many from open play? Okay, well, let's take those off, and you keep your ones that were set pieces, and he's still the best. Fuck you know, mate.
And then, and the other pushback is, isn't it, of like, yeah, but he's only played in the Prem this season. You know, let's include all comps and see how good he is, and blah blah blah. And you could go, do you know how ridiculous it is that he's in the conversation and he's only in one competition? If he was in 4, like with an Arsenal, you wouldn't even be near him. The fact is, you know what I mean? That's the crazy thing. It's like going, you know, for that marathon we ran, it's neck and neck, and you go, mate, I haven't even been using my legs. I've been going like this the whole time. You know what I mean? It shouldn't even be close. The fact that it is close is embarrassing to you. He's that good.
So when we do talk about the PFA Player of the Year, right? And obviously there has been seasons where, like we said, it's gone to a player who hasn't won the league. And this is a weird season where never have we seen, I think Coach Cam said it the other day, and a lot of people have been saying it, Like, never have we seen a team at the top of the table, but there's so many different discussions about their attack and standout players and who's really the guy. Usually when there's a guy that's the team that's win the league, you've got your Haaland with unlimited goals. You've got De Bruyne just doing a madness. So it's easy. You've got Salah, you know what I mean, doing a madness when they won the league. Last year, Salah had his best individual. Foden got PFA Player of the Year when they won the, and it's like unquestionable, like it goes to them. And never really recently, apart from like, you know, when Kante won it, when Salah's won it, when he hasn't won the league, there hasn't really been this sort of thing where Arsenal are going to win the league, but you go, well, Trossard and Martinelli aren't those guys. Saka and Madueke aren't those guys. Victor Gyökeres has got...
great at all.
Saka's not doing great at all. Obviously, Madueke is not that guy. You go, Gyökeres, he's like got 17 goals in all competitions because Arsenal play unlimited games. But it's like, you look at him, I saw a stat for him, which is like he hasn't scored any against the big 6 or 7 teams. They're all the teams lower down. Which Arsenal fans might not care. That's what I'm saying. You go Gabriel,
or maybe their keeper. You know what I mean? It'd be something like that.
So you go Gabriel, Raya, and obviously people are talking about Rice. And then you go like across the league as well. The top performers in the league has been you go Semenyo, done bits at Bournemouth, got the move to City, kind of carried it on. You go Igor Thiago, emergence like wow, but like still like patches. Haaland is like the top scorer, but the most consistent guy, the standout guy. You know, Rodgers' overall game, 100%. Like, they started off where the Villa fans were on his back the first 5 games. They couldn't buy a win. Then they went on a mad run when he was excellent. Then he had 7 games with no goals or assists, and now they're starting to get it together again. Patchy. Like, who's the guy this year who is the standout guy who's been consistent? And it's Bruno.
It's Bruno. And also on top of that, as many people point out, for half, he's played basically 2 halves of the season in 2 separate positions.
Yeah,
80%. The numbers that he has accomplished this season, again, that stat there, he was playing in a deeper role as well. You know, now he's gone back to being in the 10, being closer to goal, creating even more chances, scoring even more goals. But even when he's in a deeper role, taking the ball off the centre backs, by the way, sometimes that deep, he still is creating those chances, still scoring those goals. So the fact that his numbers have not faltered, really. They've not gone below or they've not really changed. And he's gone from being deeper to now further forward. It's unbelievable. And I was not biggest critic, but I was one of those people, and I still do stand by it to an extent of, I didn't really like Bruno in the 8, prefer him closer to goal as you can possibly get because he just affects the game more there. But the fact that he can still do that job to a level, you know, that is very high. And even when he was doing that under Amram, we're like, you know, he's still probably our best player. You know what I mean? Even Ruben Amram's like
further away from the goal.
From what I need my midfielder to do, he's the best at doing it because he's our best player.
Do you know what's crazy as well? And I actually have to suck salt on this one because remember I just sent you a private thing there, Owen. I just want to bring that up. What I just sent you in the chat. I said that this was going to be the year that Bruno becomes public enemy number 1 because our manager's going to hang him out to dry by playing him in the 6. And in spite of that, he's gone on to have his best ever season. And we're potentially talking about a record-breaking season for him, which shows even me, I couldn't envisage him. It shows me, and I love Bruno, but even me, he superseded that because I was like, there's no way he's going to keep being able to play in the 6 and just not become the villain where everyone's going to turn on him because this is going to end bad. And in spite of that, he's still done this. So I saw this tweet a while ago from someone, right? And I don't know if this is being disingenuous to Rice. I want to see what the community thinks because I really like Declan Rice. I think people try to shit on him because, maybe because of things like this and the numbers and stuff. But when you watch him, like he's just always good, in my opinion. I think he's a top player. But when you're talking PFA Player of the Year, it was this. It was not on assist chart, not on goal chart, not on Player of the Month, not on big chances created. Not on chances created, not on tackles and interceptions, not on duels, not on the distance covered, not on progressive passes, not basically saying like he doesn't excel over anyone in any of these things, numbers wise. So what chart is he leading to be like why he's the guy? It was the question this post was saying. Is that disingenuous or?
Well, this is when you get into like, stats versus the eye test and all that bollocks, isn't it? But I think, I look at it as, it's a bit of both. Bruno Obviously has the statistical leaders in terms of those chances created, assists, goal contributions, and what have you. But also, I look at how important he is to the team. He's integral to this team. Arsenal, if you took Declan Rice out of that team, obviously they would be worse for wear, but they would still, I think, be able to sort of get away with it, still keep picking up wins. And you go, well, they'll find a way to keep and overcome. United, we've seen it. Bruno goes out the team. We're like, well, we can't create now. What are we going to do? Well, who's gonna do it? You know, and even on his worst day, Bruno, he's still integral and involved. You know, so I think, yeah, I mean,
is that what people say? Everyone's not having Rice. What do you lot think Rice is sort of just this like average? Not you.
I think Declan.
Look,
I think Declan Rice is a really good player, but I don't even think it's a conversation between Bruno and Rice for I don't even think it's a conversation for Bruno or Rice for PFA player this season. I don't. And I know people will say, oh, that's United bias, but I just don't think it's anywhere near. Bruno is just
cardio
on fire. On fire this season. It's not even close.
No, I'm not Lil Yo-Yo. Decorate, literally plain Rice. Gets the job done. Energy, but isn't anything elite.
Don't get me wrong. He's a top player. He's a top player, but
this cardio merchant's ruthless.
For people, well, he is obviously better than Mason Mount and Manuel Ugarte. We can't take the piss here, but yeah. But in terms of the Bruno conversation, it's nowhere near for him. You know what I mean?
Bruno, yeah, I agree. I agree.
Miles above that, and you know, people can do the saltiness of 40 games or what have you. Well, there's not much Bruno can do about that. You know, what he can do is just in the games that he is playing in the Premier League, just keep getting involved. Like you said, and there is precedent for it. That's why Leicester players got PFA Player of the Years when they won the Premier League. Who won it that year? Was it Kante or was it Mahrez?
When what? Sorry.
When Leicester won the league, who got the PFA Player of the Year? Was it Kante or was it Mahrez?
I think
it might have been Mahrez. I think it was Mahrez, wasn't it?
I think it was.
So yeah, at the moment, who is a better player in the league than Bruno Fernandes at the moment? On form,
you're stretched, and it's not even just like form of like this month he's been hot. Like it's like
this season
this season.
Now you can say obviously people can do the whole but this is the problem with the Premier League this season. Nobody's really been that good.
And they say one game a week as well.
You know, but that's not Bruno's fault.
But they still, they still play the same amount of Premier League games.
To win. Someone still has to win. You know what I mean? Just because the league might be dripping in quality and nobody else is standing out, somebody still wins. You know, what do they do? We're going to call it off this year because nobody's been good. No, someone's got to win.
Yeah.
You know, if you're the best of the bad bunch, you're still the best.
Yeah, I do think if Arsenal win the league, I do think it would be Gabriel or Rice. I do. I think if Bruno can break that record though, if Bruno breaks the record, I think he might get it. You know, I think he might get it because because it's like he's beaten the assist record. Arsenal fans might be fuming about it. Well, they'll be drunk off of parade joy. You know what I mean? It's not really the be all and end all whether their player gets it or not, but they'll moan at it. But if Bruno, maybe that's the thing. I think he has to break that record to be able to get it because I think the league. Who is it? Who votes it? Is it other players?
PFA, because there's a load of different ones. There's like sport writers,
or is it people? Yeah, or is it the people of the PFA, the actual PFA organization?
I'll have a look.
Might have to chat Chipper to that. Who decides PFA Player of the Year award?
Who votes?
Is it players and players only?
The PFA players. PFA Players Player is voted exclusively by members of the Professional Footballers Association, the Players Trade Union.
So is it just
professional players only? Is it just the players? I think it's just basically players.
Just players. So only the man. So you know what? And you know what? You know what's weird about players? Or not weird. What's interesting is that fans do the tribalism thing, but players they don't do it. Like say Jack Grealish is posting up the thing, going
sometimes. Remember when Ballon d'Or voted? What was it? Ballon d'Or voting or something? And that got very tactical after a while, wasn't it? You know, when it was Ronaldo and Messi, and it was like, wow.
Oh yeah, but that's a bit tribalism. That's a bit different.
Certain people had to vote for certain people, and you go, well, I can't, or they couldn't.
It's rigged.
Whether they were going to vote for people in their team or not, and all that kind of stuff. It was a bit.
But in the Premier League's a bit weirder because, especially this year, because I think there'll be if it's players, other players respect Bruno a lot. All
They
the other
do,
players
yes.
rate Bruno a lot. All of them. Even the rival players from like Man City or even people like Declan Rice. You know what I'm saying? I remember when he was waxing lyrical about Caicedo. And I also think that other players who play against this Arsenal team, this is my own personal opinion. I think there'll be a thing amongst their players' union of all the different players in the league that will go, fuck yeah, I mean, you play against them and it's not, I don't know, man. I don't really like the way they play. I just don't know, man. I don't really rate that. But Bruno, listen, I'm telling you, man, this guy, like, you see how Tyler Adams said the thing of like, you can't fucking mark this guy out the game.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Fucking, I think there'll be more players across the whole league, especially if Bruno gets the assist record, that would have so much of a respect for the art of that individual than there would for like Arsenal. Because I think a lot of players probably still don't like Arsenal. Like, you see, like how the fan, like, I think a lot of players will go, their fans are unbearable. And it's how I've had a couple, listen, naming that couple players, they go, oh, I hate playing against that. I just want to really beat that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what I mean? Like,
I've heard,
there's a few players who go, I fucking can't wait to play them on Saturday. Oh, fan, I'm telling you, it's a real thing. I'm telling you, fact, yeah? So I just think that exists in the league. It really does exist in the league. So I know that for a fact. So I don't know.
I think you also made a really good point earlier about, you know, what you were saying after Bruno stayed last summer, and saying that because of how high the transfer fee was of like 100 million, basically there was no way that he could sort of live up to that. So it would always be, Bruno should be 100 million. We could have had 100 million. We could have done this. We could have done that. And I tell you what, that is such a huge credit to him that hasn't been a thing, because it should.
It's been the opposite.
Because usually
he is a 100 million pound player.
Usually it would. If you didn't go for 100 million, and considering we finished 15th, then we know what our fan base is like. A couple of bad games, we should have 100 million. We could have had that. But that's never really been a conversation.
No one can say it. Even the biggest of Bruno haters can't say it.
It's been, thank God we kept him, because if we didn't have him, it would be really, really bad. You go, fair fucking play, because that's not easy to overcome.
Well, like
a £100 million valuation hanging over your head. That's mad.
We've said it. At the minute, the silence is deafening from some of the big, apart from Ricky, where he's never, the silence is not deafening. He'll still just keep cussing him even when he's doing good. At least Ricky's consistent. But, you know, some of the biggest Bruno haters have had to just not do any content regarding him. Just refrain. Just can't. Just leave it. So that is basically... Just leave it there. So that is the endorsement of like, just you can't say should have took the money, could have rebuilt the squad. Why we still got this clown, typical Ineos. It's just leave it. Meanwhile, while the Bruno lovers, we can just say mad stuff and keep and have these type of conversations, PFA Player of the Year and stuff. You know what I mean? The Bruno haters probably won't even do that one. They won't even entertain that. You know what I mean?
What I have noticed is those, like, you know, Bruno haters and, you know, big, you know, people that are Bruno haters. Like, you're right. It's not what I do kind of half respect is not doubling down on the Bruno hate. It's more the silence. You know what I mean?
Just leave it.
Because I can't. Even if I tried to double down,
I respect it.
You know what I mean?
I respect that. I actually respect that more than trying to undo
Homer
what
Simpson
you've done.
Into the bush. It literally is just the.
Yeah, unless to be fair, which I've done it before. Listen, I've done it bare times.
This guy's wrong.
Just go fucking hell, mate.
Yeah.
You know me. I actually enjoy doing videos like that, because it's like, if something's happened and I go, you idiot, Flex, you just didn't see it coming. Do you know what I mean? So I unless you're making a video like that to go, fucking, I just can't believe I used to think this guy was dead. I can't believe I thought we were better off without this guy. What was I thinking?
Because if you really doubled down and went, no, he's still bad for the team, what's he contributing? They'll never do anything with Bruno.
It's still just numbers.
At the moment, like, as he's holding the PFA Player of the Year award, if you said that, you'd be like, as he's broken the record for goal, you know what I mean? The assist
Bruno,
record.
end of the season, assist records.
Like that. PFA one and the other one, he's going, and they're going, I just don't know what Bruno contributes. I just don't know what he contributes. You'd be like,
without goals and assist caption.
Yeah, exactly.
Or what does he do without goals and assists?
Well, and it's literally, that's the post, isn't it? You know, all right, take away set pieces. What's he got? Still more than you.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I mean? You can't do it. So
what you can do, Owen,
is
where's the other good attackers though? Premier League, the level of the Premier League, fallen, mate. Igor Thiago's second highest scorer in the league, mate. Shows the level of the league. Bar's low.
This will be the one. This will be the one this summer. If he's so good and he's got a release clause, why doesn't someone get him?
Yeah.
Why doesn't if he's that good? If he's that good, why is he not in? Why is he not? Yeah, maybe
he's only saying he's happy in Manchester with his kids because nobody wants him.
No, yeah, nobody wants him. So
has to stay.
Hey, what does that mean? So
yeah,
you know what I mean.
There are still ways you can spin it to be even more shameless. To be fair, there's always a way.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would honestly, I would love it. Shout out Kevin Keegan. If he won the Player of the Year, that would boil so much piss in it. Like people,
and imagine Portugal won the World Cup as well, or something like
that.
Oh
my god!
Could you imagine?
We could win a Ballon d'Or.
Imagine he gets like Imagine he gets like PFA Player of the Year, breaks that assist record, won the World Cup, and they'd be like, "What's he done now?"
Imagine he got the most amount of assists at the World Cup, even if Portugal didn't win it. Imagine he got the assist record in the Premier League and then got the golden assist. Do you get a golden assist? You don't get that, do you? It's only golden.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't think you get highest assist though.
Those awards are weird as well, isn't there? Because remember
Harry Kane
World Cup final, and they just hand out awards of like that final as well. The defender of the tournament is usually playing in that World Cup final, even if he wasn't. You know.
Yeah, or the team of the year, not team of the year, team of the tournament.
You know
what I mean?
Yeah,
team of the tournament. Yeah, say Bruno gets into that fifth pro. What do they call it? Fifth pro, is it? Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, gets into the World 11.
Yeah, you know, or he's player of the tournament because he's just
didn't even play a European game all year in the World 11.
Yeah.
I've got 5 good games for Europe in the World Cup. Oh, but he only played Kazakhstan and Haiti. So
that would be funny, wouldn't it? They go, yeah, but he wasn't in Europe. So what's he done in Europe? He went to international. Actually, he was beyond Europe. World Cup
semi-final, mate. Got 2 assists. Get Portugal to the final. Mate, yes.
Scored a hat trick in the final, mate. So
scored the winning pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a pen. Yeah. So it's Bruno. Yeah. We're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but
we maybe a little bit.
Yeah. I just really want him to win that award. I think it'll be so good, man. Because in a period where he can't win the top honors for the team, like I always say, I love players who do things in spite of where they're at. Because there's so many excuses you can make, and some of them are valid, by the way. Some are not excuses. Some are just reasons. You go. Yeah, well, of course, one guy, because people say, "Oh, how'd you still finish 15th last year?" Then he ain't that good, is he? You know what I mean? But it's like, look around him. Look, just look.
Yeah, or the whole.
And he still got 19 goals, 19 assists last year. Still in all comps.
Because this is one we've had this conversation before about certain players that have been at United in this sort of post-Ferg era. You know, the whole like, oh, are they a legend? And they go, well, they can't be a legend because they didn't win the league. And you go,
yeah,
but can you really judge them like that? You know what I mean? In the sense of, look at the teams they've been in. They weren't going to win the league,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But
like if Roy Keane was in this team, if Paul Scholes was in this team, if Ruud van Nistelrooy was in this team and stuff like that, it's like
that. That's why I was glad he won the FA Cup, because at least it's like, well, look, he did win a trophy as a captain. You know what I mean? And for all intents and purposes, he was the captain when we won the Carabao Cup as well. So that's a couple of trophies. But you're right. I do think he deserves that big individual honour, because he is good enough. And I think just with the fact that we haven't been as successful as maybe, Manchester United is judged to usually be during his tenure, that does kind of sort of paint him in a bit of a negative light, which really is not his fault at all. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's like, well, he wasn't that good because look what Man United did where he was there. And you go, well, but he's still the best player. You know what I mean? The fact, like you said, the fact that he can still maybe be the best player in the league in a terrible team at point is remarkable.
And get numbers better than players that are in the really good teams.
Yeah. I imagine someone put out a comp the other day and it was like all of the missed assists for Bruno this season. Crazy. There's fucking loads. And some of them are stinkers, like absolute stinkers that people have missed. And you go, it shouldn't even be close. He should have the record already. You know what I mean? It shouldn't even be a thing. So, yes, what a player.
What a player. There you go. Before we leave, have we got everything there? Where did we get to? All Elite.
We didn't read that one, I don't think.
Yeah, All Elite loves it in Manchester. He's going City. Don't say things like that. Owen's mate Zuta, Bossman Owen and Flex. Would you want 2 central midfielders? I would, definitely. Of course.
Central defensive midfielders, though.
Well, they're one of the, I think they're one of the. That phrase, central defensive midfielder, though, I think in the modern game isn't just limited to like, I'm just going to sit in front of this back 4, give me the ball, and I'll give it to the good players, and I'll just stay here. I think the position in modern day, exactly. I think the modern day, Tonali isn't that, but he's a 6. You know what I mean? Baleba isn't that, but essentially he's a 6 and a pivot. Wharton kind of maybe is that, give it to me, but he plays kind of high up sometimes as well, in the final third, putting passes together. Yeah. So Elliot Anderson is a 6, but is way more, he's not as limited as just, I know my position, I'm not running out of this middle third, just give me it and I'll give it to someone else. So yes, I still do want 2 central defensive midfielders, and I just class that as the guys that play in the pivot. We play a 4-4-2 off the ball. We play a 4-2-3-1 on the ball. Yeah, I want my 10 doing what he needs to do and my pivot to just be 2 central defensive midfielders who can do both sides of the game. The modern day, do you know what I mean, demands of that position. It's not how it used to be. So yeah, give me 2 of them.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Mina said it months ago, or a long time ago, with the Ugarte stuff. I think just the days of you're a specialist in one function and one function only, unless you've got the perfectly balanced midfield, which of course we don't have. You just can't have that. You need to have a bit more about you, and you should. A club like Man United, a top player, you need to have a bit more about you. That we're talking about Bruno here. You need to have that. Like, he was brilliant deeper. He's brilliant up higher in the pitch. You need that in your midfield. All right. Today you're the ball winner, but if I need you to play a bit more, that's not.
You have to be able to do it.
Well.
Unless you excel in one attribute better than anyone in the world. Yeah. Like, you see, like how Rodri can dictate the play so well from that position. You might say to him, I don't necessarily need you to be just as good at that as you are at getting after people and closing space and running all over the place. Like, you can maybe forget, like, his mobility is not. If you talk about Rodri, you wouldn't say his mobility is one of the best attributes. He's not the biggest slouch in the world, but he can't get about like Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, and Baleba and these types of guys, and Anderson. But he is elite, or he's built his name off being elite at like dictating the game from deep, where it's like you can't get near him, mate. The Busquets thing, drop the shoulder, you can't touch me, I'm gone. And playing passes you can't see. So yeah, there you go. And Aminor says the question, Owen, will there be a full-time view on Monday? First game in. There should be.
Well, it depends how the result goes. We might go. Yes, there should be. I'll take some calls. Yes.
Go home. Yes, there you go. All right, people, big up. We did. Someone said, can you do a little bit of an extension on the show just because it's Friday? I saw. There you go. We actually did do that.
Okay.
Big up yourselves. We'll see you at 4 p.m. Live for the Trinité, where we're going to discuss can we win the league next season? Is that absurd? Also, some more quotes he said, Maguire, which I just saw. He also said, I'm definitely one of the best defenders in the world in both boxes. I think that's fairly clear.
I saw something about that.
Having himself. So we'll extend a little bit more on that, and obviously others. And I do want to do because we messed it up last time and KG got angry. The Miles Lewis Skelly thing. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, do we have to do it again?
Well, no, you don't. I'm just taking the opportunity to be full 180. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Nah, man. I'm really actually sorry about that, because now it's actually coming out, and I think we should do it. I think we should do it, man. I think we should do it. I really do.
This is a complete 180.
Yeah, 180, 100%.
A proper 180.
You know the video. I was
it's time for flex to flip flop, spinning round like a spinning top. One day yes, then next day no.
Yeah, and I like it. I good. Yeah. That's where I'm at. I mean, listen, in the summer, you can run the song again when I change my mind for different reasons. But as of today, that's why you keep the song there. It exists for a reason. Because that is what I do, and I'm not going to change. So, yeah, and I'm also not scared to be like, do you know what, bro? I'm joining you. You know what I mean? But there is a price I wouldn't go above, but I'm not going to lie, man. Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. Right, we'll see you then. Join in. See you then. Peace.